Cool. There we go. All right. So, what are the spirit guides? So, we exist, humanity exists within the 3D reality, right? The human dimension, if you will, our human perception. And you know that that reality can be a little bit different for everybody, depending on your perception. But we all generally exist within this human experience, what I call the human realm. In Norse mythology, it's called Midgard. A lot of traditions, it's the middle world, and it's like I like to explain it as like radio stations, right? There's all these radio stations around us, and we are all generally tuned into the human radio station. Now, spirit guides, spirit beings exist at other radio stations, right? I was just saying there's angels, there's fairies, there's demons, there's the animal spirit guides, there's the dragons, right? There's all these different ones, on and on. They all exist at different radio station frequencies. Some are a little bit similar, right? There's like fairies and elves are fairly similar. They're a little bit closer frequency or closer radio station, if you will. Now, in my book here, I'll show you this, just a picture of the tree of life, right? This cosmic tree of life. And you can see these kind of stars, spheres on it. So my concept here was the tree of life, which is, again, found in traditions all over the world. I've kind of been expanding upon it, is that they're each realms. And humanity is generally like in the middle of the tree of life. And there's all these realms up in the branches, and there's realms down in the roots. And they're all different, again, frequencies, stations, realms, dimensions of existence. They also represent different aspects of us. We are each tree of life containing all this. Some of these are more open for some of us than others. Usually as we go through our journey of remembrance and opening and healing, we start to restore and reconnect with these realms. This is a lot of my work is me restoring my connection to as many realms as possible, so I can kind of be the bridge for others. And that's what I'm doing here tonight, is to open up these realms for you guys, right? So this is all about exploring the realms. So this is a very powerful part of the journey for you to open that up. So there's all these beings, all these other realms, and we can access them. And it's a matter of attuning ourselves and opening up our energy system, opening up our sensory systems, our inner sensory systems. And this is a little bit different for everybody. Some people more feel and can just feel the presence. Some are visual. I'm very visual. That was what opened up for me. The feeling took a little more work for me to develop, but I can feel them now as well. A few rare people can smell. That doesn't really happen to me too much. Or there's a sense of knowing, right? These just different extra perceptions, extra sensory perceptions, I think is what they're called, right? Clairsentience, clairaudience, to connect into these other realms and be able to receive their guidance and their input. One way I love to explain it is, if any of you, if you haven't, you can probably imagine, if you've played like a video game, and you're sitting there with the controller and you're doing it, and you've got some friends around you that are watching you, or even almost like a backseat driver, like you're the one driving. So you're the one playing the game of life here, the human experience, doing the human thing, going along. Your spirit guides are like right behind you. They're not the ones playing, but they're watching you play. And they maybe can see a few things that you don't because you're so focused, or maybe you're stressed out, or you're worried, or you're anxious, or whatever's going on. So you're kind of like a little bit blinders on, and they're like over here, up here, over here. And they can, if you listen, provide some extra insights. Now it takes a bit of relaxing and being able to be here and listen to them, or sort of withdraw right into like meditation and receive their messages, right, and tune into them, right? If you're so in the game and you're so focused on the game and you're anxious, or you're driving, right, and you're so like in traffic, you kind of like tune them out. They're right there. There's a whole lot of them for everybody, and it's just a matter of sort of relaxing and opening your system to receive them and let them begin to speak with you. Now, there's all sorts of traditions and rituals and ways to access them, and then also to bring them to life, to build that relationship. And it's very much like if you're going to build a relationship with a person in this life, you have to establish that line of communication and connection and understanding to build those relations, right? If you meet somebody new and you like them, you build that connection. You get their number, you hang out, you meet for coffee, you find out what they're into and how they work, and you establish your maybe behaviors and rhythms with them. How do we interact? You've got the ways you interact maybe with a partner, with a friend, with an old friend from high school, right? You build your sort of repertoire and your way of connecting with them. And that could be different for each of your spirit guides. But as you build that, it's easier to connect with them and feel them around, and be able to kind of call upon them. As you open up, there'll be instances where they'll come in stronger and stronger. I don't know if that was a squirrel earlier. I had a pretty cool experience with a squirrel the other day. So they definitely come around in nature. And a lot of times if I meet somebody new that, become close with, I end up telling them about the squirrels with my allies, and they often are like, oh, I just was thinking of you and I saw a squirrel, right? So it's like my squirrels are out there working for me. So it's a level of relating with them in these aspects and paying attention to them. And you can bring them to life, right? Like I showed you guys in the beginning, some of you have been joining in here. I've got the the squirrel animal that I found at a theme park a few years ago. I was like, oh, okay, I gotta get that. So, he comes around with me sometimes. So it's just another way for me to bring alive that squirrel spirit and remember that squirrel spirit is there and I can call upon them. Same way with the dragon necklace here. The dragons with me. I also have I don't know if you guys can see it on here, one of my dragon rings, right? So that's another symbol for me to remember that the dragons are with me and I can connect with them and bring their energy in. Right, you can have pictures of them or statues of them, and maybe some of you already do with certain animals you love. A lot of people are okay with that, even if they don't know about spirit guides. They have certain animals they love, and those are around. You may have had animals that you loved when you were little. A lot of kids do. Often that is indicative of a particular animal spirit guide that's around you. But the more you can bring them into some sort of physical reminder that they're there, and this practice is sort of called like totems. You would have a totem or a fetish, and not like a modern word of fetish, but a fetish as like a focal point of energy of these other spirit beings that are with you in the day-to-day and can come to life. And I think that's part of what the kids, they play with dolls and stuffed animals. They're bringing their spirit guides. From what I've seen this, I've actually watched kids before, and there's like their spirit guides are kind of coming into these inanimate objects, and like they're communicating, right? And you've probably seen this, kids, maybe you did it, where they're having like these full-on dialogues and experiences with these toys, right? They're still, until about 7, 8, 9, some of that starts to close down. Generally, they're pretty open and kind of in between worlds, and they have some level of access to those other dimensions, and then it gets shut down usually. That's why I'm doing a lot of the work with the kids program, is to give them a safe way to keep that portal open so they can still draw upon that when they need it. Us adults, we've got to unravel a few things and start to open up that. So a good way if you're starting is through the imagination, and the imagination is kind of a gateway to the realms of spirit. The imagination allows you to step out of the logical linear mind and step out of some of those limiting thoughts you might be having of like, can I do this? Is this real? That sort of stuff us adults tend to get. The imagination allows you to expand into the spiritual realms, because the spiritual realms aren't as logical and linear as the human experience. They exist in a different reality of different physics and principles and properties and understanding than our human nature. Like I was explaining earlier, you've got our human reality, we're playing the human game. They're outside of that. They're aware of it to a certain degree, depending on the spirit being, but they exist outside of it. And so we're like tapping into these other realms on the tree of life and allowing their information and their insights to come in. Ultimately, they're also part of us. They're part of who we are. I am partially squirrel. I am partially dragon. All those are components, spiritual ingredients that make me up, right? And I've got many more, right? They're all like part of the soup or the pie, whatever you want, of air and pie. And so you've got your own mix of beings that compose you. And the more you open to these, you're actually also opening to more of who you are and more of your gifts and more of your potential. So that's the fun thing. You're expanding the cast of you and your journey and your adventure and your life. Thank you for all the hearts. You're expanding to your mythology, and this has been something that's been coming in very strong. My guides have been presenting is because my guides continue expanding, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting a big roster here, and I've been working with one of my clients who works with me. He does my monthly mentorship program with me, and he's been amazing, and he's continuing all his spirit allies have been growing, and I give him homework to do each month and journeys to do in here and other practices, and so his roster of spirit guides is just growing. I have to keep notes so I can kind of track him to help him out with all of his different things going on, and this huge mythology, right, of all that he is, and it's activating more of his power and confidence and clarity and excitement for himself and what he's doing in his life, and he's got a child on the way, so all these beautiful things, and he's just like, can just see his energy expanding, his capability, his potential for who he is. So it's like he's connecting with all these guides, but it's also he's connecting with more of himself. There's more of there within him to source and to bring to life, and to know that he's not alone when he's facing the challenges of life, right? You're not alone, and that's a really amazing thing with this as you start to tap into these spirit guides. So often we feel alone. Even if we're around people, we can still feel alone, right? Even if we're in the middle of the city, we can feel alone. It's a very common thing for a lot of people. Once you access these, that feeling can soften, and obviously there's not that physical touch, but there's a lot of deep personal, emotional connection, and the amount of love they have for you when your heart really opens to receive them is, incredible. And there's been times where they've come in so strongly into my presence, into my field, that I can just my heart melts and my mind melts, and I'm just in pure bliss, radiance, and humbled by the amount of love that is there when we can open up to it. And that's if anything, that's the most profound aspect of this, is the amount of love that is right there. And yeah, and this reminds me too of, if any of you have studied near-death experiences or have had one, I'm lucky that I've not had one, but I've had a lot of experiences moving between realms, and I've watched a lot of videos of people talking about their near-death experiences, and there's some variations, but it's pretty common across the board is people experience these spirit beings around them. Usually most people's stories I've seen are family, or usually family or other versions of themselves, but the amount of love that's there. And so that love is still there, even though your sensory systems kind of close down to it. As you open up, right? If some of you have been doing meditation, healing work, you're opening up your human sensory system to be able to feel them. I've been working with them it's been over 20 years now in this life. And so my level of sensitivity and awareness to them is much greater than it was when I first started, but it's continues to build, and you continue to build that confidence and trust and relationship with them as well as you go. So how's that sit with everyone? Any questions? And thank you for being here with me tonight, both on Insight Timer, and I've got the camera video going here. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate the donations on here. That helps me to keep doing the Insight Timers, and Insight Timer loves that, and thanks for all the hearts. Just grateful to be here and get to share this with all of you. It's so much fun. This is one of my passions, is to bring this to life. So the ancestors, great. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, so the ancestors, right? There are, again, this is another pretty much worldwide tradition of honoring the ancestors, right? And it can be your more immediate ancestors, maybe your grandparents. All my grandparents have passed away, and I've definitely felt their presence at different times in my life. And then, ancestors further back. Also ancestors from other realms, because we're not fully just from the human world. We are connected in each of us in different ways to other realms, right? I'm the elven wizard. There's a reason for that. I have a lot of connections to the elven realms and ancestors there. So there's ancestors from multiple realms, and there's a lot of beautiful rituals and practices to honor them. Of course, if you have any family that's passed on that you feel connected with, whether you knew them or not, I've had people that didn't know, say, their great grandma and have had that, their great grandma come in. If you have something around, of course, that reminds you a picture of them, or grandma's favorite perfume, or I've actually got I don't have here with me a crystal, this little crystal thing my grandma had that I still keep, so my little way of honoring her and connecting with her. Of course, there's I was talking about this with my uncle the other day, the Day of the Dead, where they do this whole celebration and like put out dinner for the ancestors. So that's a beautiful way to invite them in. They are there. Some aspect of them may have incarnated potentially, but their higher self might still be there as well to connect with. And I don't feel my grandparents have come in and out at like different times. They're not. I haven't felt them like consistently like I do my other spirit guides. And some people do feel them very strongly on the regular basis as well. I've worked with. So they're there. They can offer guidance, insights. I would say, right, and this goes for all the spirit guides, they all have their own specialties, right, of what they can assist you with. If your, grandma was a gardener, she can probably help you, right, with gardening, for example. But you might not want to call her for advanced computer insights or something like that, right? They might each have their own specialty, right? Ratatasker, my squirrel, has his own specialties. I have different guides for different projects. When I'm doing healing work on clients, I have different guides that come in usually for the healing work. When I'm creating like all of this, I have different guides for this. When I'm doing very technical computery things, I have guides that come in for that. So you may have different ones, and that's part of that cast, right? Just like you have people in your life that, you call the plumber when you need the plumber, and you call your grandma when you need help with the garden or whatever it is, right? So, awesome. Thank you, Dee. I'm glad that assist, helping to understand it all. But I haven't experienced it strongly. Yeah. Any other questions? Let's see if we can do an introduction to them. Would you guys like to do a little meditation? See if we can get you connected to one. Some hearts. All right. Let's go for it. All right. So let's see what else I need to prepare you with. So first thing is allow whatever comes into the experience to come. It might not be anything yet. That's okay. It might be something you expected. It might be something completely unexpected. All of it is okay. Go with it. You may not understand it all at the moment. You might see something that you're like, I don't know what this is, and that's okay. More will likely be revealed over time. We're just kind of opening the door a little bit tonight here. Allow your imagination to unfold. I mentioned earlier that is very important. These beings exist in, the easiest way to say it is energetic forms that are not necessarily physical, right? Even if you connect with a squirrel spirit or say a wolf, it's in an energetic frequency reality that's different than here. And so these being, or an angel, right, or anything else, or even your ancestors, they exist in a different reality. They will step into a form that your conscious mind, your human mind, can relate to, right? For example, I've seen angels come through, and they seem very more like human, right, with wings, and it's an easy way for me to understand. I've also seen them in just this pure blasting radiance that's like a bit overwhelming to the human system. So they will sort of step down or put on a bit of a costume, if you will, to make it easier for you to connect with. So allow whatever comes through to just accept it and work with it and allow it. Let that flow through unto you. Let's see if there's any other things to share before we start. And I'm tuning into mine because I always like my backup, make sure I don't forget anything. And yeah, going in with an open heart and a curiosity, right? The heart is a possibility of feeling them and letting them come in at another level, not just the mental level. Uh, tourist Pokemon. Yeah, that I've not seen a Pokemon, but I've definitely seen some funny things. They will step into other things, right? If you have a particular um, character or thing that you like, yes, they'll connect. They will definitely come in, and it's my belief. A lot of the things that people have created, right? There was, I don't know too much about Pokemon, but there was somebody or a team that developed Pokemon, right? And all these other things, right? Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, all these things. A lot of those were inspired by other stuff, right? Too, but that they were probably tapping into their imagination and these creative worlds, and those things exist, and there's so many dimensions and realms out beyond humanity. So I feel like there may be some level of truth of those coming in, or it could be also right. That's an image that they can step into their spirit guides, and it may be that forever. It might change into something else as well. It's it's fluid. We're stepping outside linear. The other big thing that comes up for a lot of people is, oh, what if I'm making it up? Probably you're making up pretty much everything you do. I'm, of course, I'm saying things I've learned and experienced, but I'm making up how I'm saying this to you right now. I spent a year making up this book, right? Somebody made up this table that this computer that somebody else made up is on, right? We're always making up things. That's how we connect and process and understand and relate and develop and grow. If we weren't making things up, we wouldn't be growing. So if that comes up in your mind, just say, awesome, cool, I'm making this up, and let's go for it, right? And develop it. And as you go along and build this connection, what you're making up becomes more and more useful and insightful, right? Sure, maybe I made up some of these spirit guides, okay, but they've added value and insight and joy into my life, so that's fine with me, right? If they're not adding anything to your life, then okay, you can throw it out and forget this ever happened. But if you're finding some inspiration and some insight and some love and some joy, and they're adding value to your life, then great. Just like art, everybody makes up art. It has value. There's art we like, art we don't like. Music, it's all made up. Everything's made up. So that's that. Anything else? Thanks for all the hearts. Again, thank you for being here tonight. Let's dive into a little meditation. Invite you, if you're comfortable, if you're getting to a space that's comfortable, if you can close your eyes, you can close your eyes as long as you can hear me. I will also be using light language. This is language of the other realms. I go to some of my other talks and stuff, but I'll be using it to support you and help clear any blocks and energies out of your system so that you can open up. Just receive it as if you're listening to sounds of water or the ocean or the forest, right? It's the sounds of these other realms. I'm bringing them through, which will sort of spark a deeper connection for you. Okay, so go ahead and get comfortable. As I said, if you'd like to close your eyes, you can. And I invite you to take a few deep breaths, allowing your breath to soften and deepen and expand. Letting the breath find a comfortable, deep rhythm. Feeling your body connected and being held by your chair or couch or bed or whatever you're in. And imagine your body, your spine, your nervous system holding the intention and direction that as your body relaxes, that your system connects down into the earth. You might imagine roots expanding out, or just your energy systems reaching out, or just in your mind down to the earth. And you can also even visualize, if you will, your feet like plugging down into the earth. We want to connect in to the what I call the earth grids. There's life force in the earth that your body needs and will support its journey here tonight. And as you connect into the earth, take a few deep breaths there, allowing the earth to connect with you and nourish you and support you on this journey. And I'm going to say a few words here to support this connection. Just breathe and relax. Lega kola endrot o eskira ut ela tuira ela undosat ik era untorat umbera holisk ela ndorat utukusk era karako. Breathing, imagining life force, energy, just holding the intention or visualizing it as best as you can that the energy of the earth is rising up into your body as you bring your awareness back up to your body with a few deep breaths. And around you, we begin to create a sanctuary, and you can imagine this or just hold the intention to the best of your ability. We open the gates of east of air, the gates of south and fire, the gates of west and water, and the gates of north and earth to surround you and create a sanctuary outside of space and time. This is a magical space, a space to allow you to let go of your human self and human stories and experiences, right? We're letting go of that human game for a little bit, and we're traveling within. This creating a safe space for you to travel. And I'm opening this up around each of you and the group together. And anyone joining in later and watching. Opening up this space for us. And taking a few deep breaths. And you can imagine this just a safe, energetic field around you, a safe space for you to travel within. And then we call in and invite in the realms above of your spirit, your higher self, of the divine, of the god, goddess, of the celestial realms to come in to the top of this sphere we've created, connected with the earth beneath us. Invoking and inviting in those higher levels to support us in your journey tonight. Again, just holding the visual, the intention as best you can. And then finally bring your focus back to your heart. And just focus in. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat. Maybe just bring your focus there as best you can. And through your heart, we're going to open a portal, a magical gateway. And as best as you can, imagine emerging out of your heart is a portal, right? And a swirling energy, a vortex, maybe some kind of doorway or gateway. Just seeing it as best you can. And this portal, you imagine yourself moving through your spirit, your consciousness, your mental, your mind, your visual capabilities, as if you're walking through this doorway and it taking you far away from the human experience. Opening up and eventually bringing you out into a beautiful place of nature. It could be somewhere you've been before or somewhere completely new. Allowing it to form in your mind as clearly as you are able to. And some of you might just feel it and sense it, and that's okay too. If you're able to visualize it, that can be helpful do the best you can here. I know this is maybe new for some of you, so this is our practice run just to build this experience connecting into this other reality. And making this place as real as you can, noticing what's on the ground. Is there a forest floor, a sandy beach, rocky mountains? What are the plants like? What's the landscape like? The trees, plants, flowers, water. What does the sky look like? Exploring and connecting, envisioning and feeling this place, making it as real as you can inside of you as you continue to breathe and relax. And begin to explore this place for a few moments. Walking around, can you feel your footsteps upon it? Are you just floating through? Is there anything sort of drawing you to it? Maybe a tree, or down to the beach, or maybe through the garden. Just exploring this beautiful place. And I want you to find somewhere here where you might sort of sit and relax and be. Maybe it's right on the ground, or maybe there's some sort of beautiful seat or bench there, or maybe something appears. Just somewhere you can be here and relax. And in the space, allow it to reveal, and you also have the ability to add to it, right? So if you want to create a comfortable chair, you can bring that into existence. Or perhaps something will appear for you. Allow that to unfold. And from here, if it's the right time and space for you and one of your spirit guides, we're going to invite them forward. And I invite you to, again, simply relax, allow whatever comes to you to come. Open your heart, relax your breath. Sometimes people can get nervous. It's like a first date. Just allowing whatever reveals. And we're going to ask something to step forward into the space. You may just get a subtle glimpse, and that's fine. You might get something very clear, and that's fine. I'm going to, again, invoke some words to support you. Take a deep breath. Taking a deep breath, and we call forth one of your spirit guardians that wishes to step forward and begin establishing a connection with you here tonight. We open a gate for anyone that's for your highest alignment right now and here to make their presence known in the clearest and best way for you at this moment. And this could be something emerging from the landscape. This might just be a subtle feeling. It might be a color. Allow yourself to just simply observe whatever happens here. Notice if you feel anything in your body, And notice if you see anything, allowing whatever happens to happen. And the more you can soften and relax, open your heart, like you're graciously meeting a new friend, to open up a warm space to invite them in. You may feel some emotion, perfectly normal. You may feel some energy, perfectly normal. You may see some colors, perfectly normal. As they come in, if you are feeling the connection, you might ask them some questions. I'm going to give you a few prompts that you can use to begin building that connection. Remember, like I said earlier, it's just like you're meeting a new friend, kind of for the first time, asking, is there a name I should call you? You may get something, you may not. It's okay. You might ask if it's a specific type of spirit, and you might already be seeing that. It might not be clear. Is it an animal? Is it an angel? Is it an ancestor? Just opening that inquiry, you might get some clarity. And then I invite you to ask, is there anything specific this spirit wishes to assist you with? Is it here to help you with something specific in your life? Again, just listening, seeing, receiving, feeling as best you can. And one final question for tonight, asking if it has any request for you of how you can further connect with it. For example, maybe getting an artwork or a statue of it, or writing its name out somewhere. Just if it has any insights to help you begin to establish your relationship with it. And as you're ready, go ahead and thank it for its presence and to whatever degree it appeared to you. Knowing that you'll be able to return here in the future to further connect. And as you say farewell, we allow it to fade away. And take a deep breath. And you make your way back through the landscape, back to the portal that you entered through. It opens up if it's gone, reappears, that doorway. You say farewell to this beautiful space. And as you're ready, pass through that portal, traveling through time and space and realms and dimensions and frequencies, all the way back here. some of that essence and magic with you here back into your physical body. Feeling your body again. Slowly coming back to an awakened state. Feeling your muscles and your bones. Opening your eyes as you're ready. Knowing that all those energies of the directions and the earth and the realms above are still there supporting you. You may as well leave them up, I always say. And as you're ready, come back to the chat room, and I would love to hear from any of you what your experience was. That was a brief intro, sample, a taster to the spirit realms journey for you all. So I hope you did enjoy. And it's very normal when I do this, especially in this like shorter format, that there's a wide variety of experiences. Some of you maybe have already had some experience with it, so your connection was a little bit stronger. Some of you maybe not at all. Some of you a little bit, and everywhere in between. It's totally normal. You know, it also depends on your level of practice with these sort of things. You know, some of you may be new, some of you may be experienced. It will get easier and clearer and stronger. It's like a muscle that, you know, has to be built up. Anybody have anything to share? Just, yeah, I got something. Even if you don't want to share the details. Don't be shy though. The more you speak of it, they generally like that. So it's like acknowledging them. It's just like if you met a new, you know, girlfriend or boyfriend, like you can go tell your friends, right? It's like that excitement. So that builds up that connection within you as well, bringing it to life. And, you know, this is a safe space to share it. And I know some of these things aren't as easily shareable in all areas of life with all people. So I welcome it here, and you know, if you have any questions here, and I invite you, you know, afterwards to write down what your experience is, even if it's minimal. And that's when it's on Bex too, yeah, definitely. Okay, Pokemon are the Japanese folk spirits, so there you go. a lot of modern movies and fantastical things are based on ancient stuff, so yeah, it makes sense with Pokemon. D at the end, when I kind of stopped trying, I got a message to light candles and sit by campfires. That's a great message. Yeah, that's definitely a very traditional practice, looking into the flame. You know, for some, that's a way for them to come through, and also, right, it sort of puts you into that sort of trance state where you can move through worlds. Very ancient common practice, so definitely a great message to work with that. Oh yeah, I've got mine here. So, you know, part of, as I was saying, the development, or right, to really start strengthening your connection with them is, where's my section here, is to really make that effort to write about them, to bring them to life. So here in my new book, which you can pre-order, it's going to be out in November. Hopefully end of November I'll have these in stock. You know, I've got the whole allies section here, right? It's about connecting with spirit allies in there. Like I've got I put this in here on top of the book. That's not in the book, but that's what I had to task here. And then right here, I'm describing all my allies. There's more I want to do here. I just started filling this out, right? My eagle, spirit ally, right? This is a new one. This Norse witch that started coming through. This actually on the autumn equinox has been super powerful. I'm still kind of learning about her. Some of my dragon team working on here, so I've been adding notes. There's definitely a lot more. I've got my old book, which has a lot of notes in it, so this one's new, but this is the new book, and this is all about helping you develop that stuff. Let's see, we've got a few people here. Joanne said, rocked by a river, and mine came and gave me a hug. Oh, awesome. Felt warm and loved and cared for. Yes, that's awesome, Joanne. That's, one of the best gifts they can give, especially, we don't always get that in this life. So to have that depth of connection and love that they're awesome. Joanne, wonderful. Definitely, write that down so you remember when you need that, that they're there for you. Andrea, thanks for the squirrel inspiration. I thought of several related memories. Awesome. The most recent was with my brother when he sang about the squirrel in the sky to the tune of the spirit in the sky. That's awesome. I'd love to hear that. Got that recorded for me. Yeah, the squirrels, I love them. They're all over the place, right? I've only the only mythology I've seen with the scroll in it that I know of is the Norse one. So I'd be curious if there's. I'm sure there's got to be other stories out there. I'll have to do some research. Bex, I got images of a being. It'll be my first time seeing them. Extraterrestrial for sure. I can see them, but not feel so much yet. My dragon buddy says hi. He likes attention. Yeah, the dragons love attention. I love that. Yeah, extraterrestrials. Yeah, I didn't even mention them. So yeah, there's all the star realms, right? And more people are seeing them, experiencing them. There's ones that are more talked about: the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Lyrians, Avians. I'm trying to think the other ones. Those are probably the most common I've seen. There's many other ones out there that are interfacing with humanity or are connected with humanity. So yeah, they definitely very similar. They're just at other frequencies than us. And some of them come in a bit more into the human reality to different degrees, and that's why people are seeing all these like sightings and stuff like that. So they're sort of like, it's like they put on a way that we could see them physically. They put on a mask or a light show, if you will. But they're just other frequencies, so connecting. Oh, hey, Christina. All good. Oh, sorry to miss you. Actually, was able to record all this, so I'm gonna be I'll be putting this video up on my YouTube, so you can watch it again there. Awesome. Yeah, I'm picture dragon too. So dragons. I'll set out a pumpkin for the neighborhood squirrels. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love that. I didn't realize they go after the pumpkins. That makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, my squirrel minions will be happy. I always tease my friends when they see a squirrel and they think of me. I'm like, that's my squirrel minions. They're all over the place. I don't know if they're working for me or I'm working for them. It's a win-win relationship. We're both a bit nutty. So I'll put this up on my YouTube, and any of you that did this tonight and you want to do it again, that's there. The Inner Realms Journey, you can go to innerrealmsjourney.com. This is going to basically take you into the realms, and you'll get to connect with avatars in there, your allies in there. There's deeper experiences with, it's a bit, I gave you guys the quick little 20-minute thing here on Insight Timer. This is a lot richer experience, and it's going to take you through it step by step. And there's the Pool of Freya, which is going to take you to your animal allies, and there's many other ones. And then, so that's on the website. A few of those are on Insight Timer. My website's a lot richer experience, so I've got art and other videos and imagery, and you get points and levels, and there's all kinds of stuff to really enrich the experience. So you can check that out. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Bex, for the donation. Yay, Bex. Thank you for the donations. I'm here. I greatly appreciate it. I offer all this. A lot of this work free or very, very minimal, so I appreciate the donations. Help me keep wizarding around as much as I can wizard, so I deeply appreciate that. I was just thinking about, I mentioned earlier, studying history of magic and spirituality in a lot of different cultures and reading some different books, and just it's coming online in modern society, but just in ancient cultures, how much even the royalty hired wizards or witches or diviners or astrologers, and how big a part of society that was for people to go to. So it's very inspiring for me, and all the work I've been doing for all these years, how well it was respected in those times, and we've kind of lost that, and it's coming back. So I again appreciate the donation. D, I came outside once and just saw a tail sticking out of the hole and eating its way to. Oh, well, I guess you know about the pumpkin. That's amazing. I love when you catch squirrels in the funny positions. Diana, I'm sorry if I said the right. Diana. I dozed off a bit at parts, but definitely took me. on a journey. I woke just in time to meet a guide. Oh, awesome. Surprising guide. The heart, a huge radiant heart, simultaneously a heart shape and biological heart. Oh, wow. So in Zimbabwe, from South Africa, amongst all the animal totems, we find Moya, the heart. Quite amazed to find it for me, but makes complete sense. I got a clear message to make a charm. Thank you. Incredible. Yes, I love that. That's perfect. I've not heard of Moya like that, but I love it. Yeah, I mean, the heart, I mean, that's that love, right? And all these spirit beings take on these archetypal symbolic shapes, and of course different cultures have different variations, which are all beautiful. And there's particular cultures you're from or you're drawn to. I invite you to study those, and you'll definitely make some connections and then be able to meditate with them. So awesome work, and that's beautiful. And making a charm, right, that something that physicalizes your connection is super helpful, especially because, right, as I said earlier, we get blinded and we're playing our human game and we forget that we got this whole team here. So having that charm or the artwork or the animal or whatever you can have around you, especially if it's something you can have with you, like a charm, right, you can wear. I don't wear her all the time, but the dragon ring I wear a lot for my dragon. Like, that just reminds you when you're in the thick of it, when you're dealing with the whatever you got to deal with, that, oh yeah, I've got the dragons with me. I'm okay. I got this. Oh yeah, the heart, the magic of the heart of Moya is with me. I've got this. I can do this, right? So it's that empowerment. Christina, I love the season. It's best. Halloween, autumn. Yeah, me too. I love it. I feel that coolness coming in. It's good. I'm not in my wizardry robe. Yeah, you missed the beginning. I just got on here. I was helping my uncle trim this big, huge wisteria vines over his trestle and swing. So I finished that, got a shower, food, and came in here. So I didn't get to get all the wizard on. Usually have the wizard on, I'd say 50% of the time at least for you guys on the inside. It's a process to get it on. So you can check out, if not, my social media. You'll see me and I just posted a new one today. This awesome image in the mossy forest up here. Full on wizard. Awesome D for the donation. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate the donations. Again, helps me keep spreading my wizard magic everywhere. Lots coming up. So been giving it all I got to get some of this magic out to the world and help people out. I know it's so needed right now. So thank you for all the hearts, for being here. Feel free to drop any other questions. I got lots of fun stuff coming up. If you're not aware of it, of course, like I mentioned, this book, you can pre-order the book at irjbook.com. It's $30 and will come with a 2-month pass, or you can buy a year pass to the Adventure Meditation Program. And there's over 80 meditations on there and growing and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's there. Thank you for being here on Insight. Make sure to follow me on here. What else do I got coming up? First week in November, very excited. I'm going to do an online 2-day Dragon Intensive. So we're going to that'll be Saturday and Sunday. I think it's November 4th and 5th, the first weekend of November, right after Halloween. It's planned that way. November 4th and 5th, Samhain, where we're going to be going deep into dragon energy, connecting with your dragon spirit guides, dragon light language, dragon energy, dragon movement, dragon magic, and dragon tantra. How to harness the dragon energy in an intimate space, and also just within yourself to embody the dragon energy. So very powerful. And of course that will be on a Zoom, so we'll be interacting. I'll be working with each of you individually to open up that dragon magic. And one of the reasons is very helpful to do it with me, and that is the dragon energy is very intense when they really come in. So they've asked me to help modulate that energy and help people, their systems handle it, because it can be intense when you really open up to it. So it's best to do that properly. So you can sign up for that at dragontantra.com. There's kind of a special deal if you sign up before October 1st. And feel free to reach out with questions on any of these things. Let's see, do I have any other big things coming up? Probably going to be doing another live Inner Realms Journey group starting in January, where I'll be weekly meetings and kind of supporting everybody's journey through this as well. I just wrapped up a 4-week group of that, which was super fun. Everybody got to go into a lot more and share their experiences with each other and weave together their adventures and give insights for each other. It was really magical to do that in groups. I'm excited to figure out a way to, we'll have the new book out, and after the holidays, start a new adventure. So I don't have that up yet. Hopefully in the next week I'll have that listed, but yeah, if you sign up for my stuff, you'll see it, or feel free to ping me if you definitely want to get on that. What else? Any questions? Shares intense cleansing. Oh yeah. Thanks, teacher. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wrote you back about the journal. Let me know if you didn't get that. I sent you. You're talking about shipping the journal to Canada, so I sent you back on that. Let me know if not. Yeah. Check out my social media on Instagram at Inner Realms Journey. You can say hi to me on any of these. Instagram, Inner Realms Journey. Facebook, Aaron Michael Pine, and Inner Realms Journey. And what else? TikTok. I've got both. I've been more on the Aaron Michael Pine. I've been on there. YouTube. Same thing. I've got Aaron Michael Pine, and then I've got the Inner Realms Journey. So you can check out those. LinkedIn. I'm also doing some fun stuff to bring magic into the corporate environment. So building up and out on the LinkedIn. I think that's just Aaron Pine, maybe Aaron Michael Pine too. Make sure to follow me on Insight Timer. I think I crossed over my 5,000 goal the other week, so continue building that. Check out my other meditations on here. There's some little mini ones you can do in the morning to juice you up. You'll see my, it blows my mind. My little morning one's got like, I don't know, 70,000 listens or something like that. So check out that one. I've got a new one I'm going to be posting up soon. My audio guy just cleaned up the audio, so I got to add some music, and that'll be a powerful one. I'll be loading that hopefully next week. Although I just saw Insight Timer's a little behind, so I don't know how long they take to review things. Yeah. Oh, we got a kids one coming up. If you got kids, that starts mid-October for Inner Realms Journey Kids one. That's going to be guided by Emma, who's my kids director. She's amazing. She's Fairy Empress. She helped me develop the whole kids program. She's been a teacher for 20 years. So she's going to be running a 4-week Zoom in the evening with kids ages 9 and up. So I think that's about half full. So you can sign up for that. That's on the Inner Realms Journey website. If you got kids or know anyone with kids, they're going to get to create their avatars. They're going to travel. They're going to make their sanctuary. They're going to do a few journeys into the realms. They're going to do some fun art and creative projects. Really opens up their imagination and their connection and empowers them to really bring forth their gifts into the world. So we actually have a whole huge curriculum. This is going to be just like the intro for it. So that's up and running if you want to check that out. I think that's it for now. Any final questions, thoughts? What would you ask? Always say, what would you ask a wizard? Oh, no reply. Okay. I'll make a note here and write you again. Maybe I'll send it from my other email too. I'll do that as soon as I get off here. Cool. Awesome. No other questions? Well, thank you all for being here. I don't think I have any other insights planned. I'll probably be posting some. I'm going to be traveling here soon, so I could probably do some. Might not next week, maybe the following week, do another insight time or two. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit the follow. Thank you again for the donations, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for going on this journey, both inside and the journey here in the realm of Earth. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful, blessed night. Lots of magic to you all. And until next time.